Well, congratulations to North Carolina for advancing. I knew going into the game, I had watched them on tape, that they were playing really well, that they were playing tight. I thought they were ready for any situation. They're well coached, and they're talented, and they're playing really good basketball right now. So we tip our hats to them. Obviously, we wish we'd have given them more of a game, but we hang our hat on our defense, and we couldn't get stops. We knew we had to play in the 70s to have a chance, and they were up in the 90s. So really happy for the season we had, but obviously disappointed in the way we finished it.
All right, we'll open up the floor questions for our student athletes first. Let's go to the third row.
Mike Petralia, clnscincy.com. Nick, I guess I'll start with you. How did the game get away in that first half? Where did you feel it starting to slip away from you?
I think we got a couple. We had a couple turnovers, and those turned into fast breaks. And then on top of that, we fouled some guys where they were able to get a couple of free throws, a couple fast break points, and then I think they started out the game hitting like I think if I'm not mistaken like 4 for 4 from three. So I thought we played really good defense, and then they had some guys step up and make some threes where it was kind of stretched the league. But once they got going in transition off our turnovers, it's hard to stop them.
Wayne, when they're hitting threes like that, how does that stretch the defense? How does it make it more difficult to stick to your assignments?
It definitely makes it a little bit more difficult. They have a team full of guys who can get to the hoop and drive pretty well and swing it out and for open shots. So when all their guys are making shots like that, it makes it a lot more difficult for us to guard.
In the back row.
For both you guys, Mark Ziegler, San Diego Union Tribune. This is a program that was 7-2 in the NCAA tournament in the last 2 years. Rarely gives up more than 70 points. Give up 95 tonight and lose by 30, whatever it was. Just describe those emotions. I mean, how shocking is it to your system to lose like this?
Nick?
Yeah, obviously not the outcome we wanted. It's tough, It's tough. It's hard to really even put into words, how you feel after coming, to the biggest stage and just getting your butt whooped. But, it's bigger than basketball, and, these are lessons that we could take as a team into the real world and just learn from and learn how to keep your head up. But, yeah, it's just hard to explain.
Wayne?
Yeah, it hurts a lot. We're a defensive team, and we didn't really stick to our assignments as well as we could have. I know we were one of the younger teams in the tournament, so luckily for those guys, they get to get a taste of this and understand for preparation next season how much it means to just lock in on every play and don't take anything for granted and just work hard.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Yeah, back row.
Nick, I know you weren't here, but the last time San Diego State got beat like this, the NCAA tournament against an ACC team, was in 2021 against Syracuse. It was a real bad loss. They were down 24 at half, same thing. But they really rallied around that loss. 2 years later, they're in the national championship game. Do you think something like this will help the team, motivate you through the summer?
Yeah.
In sort of the same way?
Yeah, like Wayne said, no doubt. It's just I'm just happy for the team, man. We got a bunch of young dudes, a bunch of guys who've never been to the tournament, and when I heard our name called, I was just so proud, because just for them to have the opportunity to understand what it's like and what it feels like to represent a city or a school and one of the biggest platforms there is for college sports or in colleges in general. And I just think, this is a loss that we're gonna feel throughout the summer. We got punked, they whooped our butts, and if you don't come to the summer ready to work, you don't really love the game. So I think this is something, we could definitely grow from and rally around and just take to the summer with us and hopefully be back here next year.
Wayne, 5 of 8 from the field tonight, 12 points. Nick, defensive team all Mountain West, second team all conference. Gentlemen, fantastic season. We enjoyed your time here. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We'll be back.
Thank you.
At this time, as the student-athletes exit, we turn things over to the head coach and Brian Dutcher. Questions for Coach? Back row.
Dutch, same thing. I mean, this is a program that doesn't take losses like this and doesn't give up 95 points. What's that like sitting there on the bench and looking at the scoreboard just rolling up when you hold teams to 50s and 60s all the time?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we had a decent game plan. We knew we had to take the fast break away, and we didn't do that to start the game. They built momentum on the break, and then they started making some threes. They made 14 for the game. I think they make 7 on a game on the season, 7 or 8. So they shot the ball well. Obviously, our game plan was not good enough. We tried to switch ball screens front, but they drove us. They got it over the top, and we got down by so many at that point. You're just trying to find a way to go on any kind of run to hang in there to make it where they might feel you at the end, but they expanded the lead, and then it was just trying to play for pride at that point. We were so desperately out of it that we're a proudful program. We wanted to fight to the end. We did not want to give in to them. And to our kids' credit, I thought they fought to the very end. And there are lessons to be learned, obviously. It has to leave a taste in your mouth that it's unacceptable. But I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And usually you can learn from both winning and losing. So we'll have to learn from losing tonight.
We'll stay in the back row.
Obviously, you guys, it was a very, very tough travel logistically. You had no prep practice for this game, which is very unusual. How much did that affect some of the rotation, some of the open looks they were getting in the first half, particularly?
Yeah, obviously, I wish we had a little more time, but they didn't have much more time than we had. I would have liked to practice in San Diego before we came. That didn't happen. We flew across country, did a public practice, and did our first real film work after that. Like yesterday night, 8 or 9 o'clock at night was our first prep time. We did a walkthrough today in a ballroom, and then went to shoot around and try to walk through some things. We played a lot of games, so we've done a lot of different things. So it's not like we're starting from scratch. We thought we had a game plan that would work, but obviously they're playing at a really high level right now. And I saw that on tape. Sometimes you watch a team on tape and you're hoping there's some flaws, but they're playing at a high level right now. I saw that if you switch ball screens, exactly what they know what they're going to do. If you hedge ball screens, they know what they're going to do. If you're in drop, they know what they're going to do. So they're well coached, and they have a counter and a game plan for everything you're trying to do. So you have to play well. Not only do you have to have a game plan, but you have to play well. And we didn't match their level of play tonight. And that's a credit to them and their coaching staff.
Third row.
Mike Petralia, CLNS, Sdsu.com. Coach, obviously one of your responsibilities is trying to get a grasp on the tempo of the game, control your team, but it seemed like that stretch where Davis hits a 3 right before halftime, right after halftime, and then you guys get a technical. From your perspective, how important was that stretch in terms of maybe frustration or perhaps the game getting away?
Yeah, that's what I said at halftime to John Rothstein. The biggest enemy of any team is frustration, or any player. And so when you get frustrated, you have a momentary lapse as to where you should be, what you should be doing, because you're frustrated at the offensive end. And I thought we lost him a couple of times. We lost him on a guard-to-guard ball screen where he hit a 3. Then the very next time we lost him on a penetration and kick, and then to start the second half. And this is the second all-time leading scorer in ACC history. So even if you play well, he's capable of bouncing up and making shots. So we made some mistakes where we gave him a couple good looks, but he's capable of making hard looks too. And so he's a gifted player, and he got on a roll, and he's hard to guard when that happens.
Back row.
5 years ago, you would have played your final game, gone home, maybe gone on vacation, taken a break, started spring practices. Can you explain how different it is now?
Yeah,
basketball?
The work starts now. Recruiting starts. The portal opens shortly, and we'll find out who's coming back from our team. We'll find out who's available, and like every team in the country, we'll try to put a roster together for next year, negotiating NIL deals and turn my coaching hat to a GM hat and try to put a team together for next year that'll be competitive and have an opportunity to come back here and play in the dance and hopefully advance in it like we have in the last 2 years.
Our last question for Coach.
And along those lines, when you lost against Syracuse in 2021, you guys retooled your roster. You walked out, saw that game, saw what happened, and said, we got to get bigger, and you got bigger, and you were so big that you bullied teams all the way to the national championship game. What lessons will you take from this experience tonight, and how do you need to get better, either through retaining players or the transfer portal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we have a young team. 6 of our top 10 are freshmen or sophomores, so they have to grow. They have to have a learning experience, and they have to come back and get better physically and mentally and become better players. Obviously, we have to add pieces. We'll look in what we have coming back and find out what our deficiencies are and try to fill some of those deficiencies. So we've had a pretty good success in the transfer portal. We were taking transfers before the portal existed. So we've always been able to piece together 4-year guys and then add pieces out of the transfer market and find a way to have a good team. So that's the goal again, to retain the players that want to be here and then to add pieces in the portal and continue to keep San Diego State relevant at a national level. And that's what my goal and job as a head coach is.